Jürgen Klopp said the Liverpool player had changed his position and no one noticed. Robertson will forever be known as the scavenger, the Duracell bunny, and he's held that performance for most of his Reds career. But after Trent Alexander-Arnold's recent take on a more opposite role, Klopp told Sky Sports last night that Robertson had to change his position as well. As he told reporter Patrick Davidson after Liverpool's 3-0 win over Leicester City, Robbo's transition was not so obvious to the casual observer. "You told me Andy Robertson had a new position and no one asked me," Davidson told the Liverpool boss. "I didn't say nobody asked me. I said nobody saw." Klopp did retail. "Everything is fine, just in the build phase, and when he gets involved in offensive stuff, it's different than before, and that's all. But I'm sure the smart guys at the tactics table will figure it all out," he said. Robertson continues to play a key role for Liverpool. It makes sense that Robertson had to fill the void left by Trent's current midfield position. Having it bomb non-stop like before would leave the team incredibly unstable. Having said that though, it's really not that much of a change. Against Leicester last night, most of Liverpool's early offensive play went down the left. Luis Diaz was heavily involved and needed Robertson's support. Especially in the first half, you could see Robertson stepping forward to help Diaz play a 2 on Ricardo Pereira. It worked most of the time, but the Reds' goals eventually came from the other side. However, those who watch closely will have seen that Robbo is not as aggressive as usual. In that regard, the presence of Curtis Jones next door helps him a lot. In Robertson's deliberate absence, Jones has become the man who provides an extra body on the left side. Like Jordan Henderson on the other side of the court, the 22-year-old plays as an almost old-fashioned left winger at times. Jones running hard and his natural ability to know when to go forward means Liverpool can sometimes afford to hold Robertson back. It is not yet clear whether Jones will take the role on a more permanent basis next season. But anyone identified as a potential new addition in the summer will have to have the nous and quality to make it work. Whoever is there, nothing will change. As always, Robertson will be at the heart of how Liverpool was founded. The Reds could sign new Coutinho. Liverpool's summer plans are really heating up right now, with a number of deals potentially in the pipeline for Jürgen Klopp and his friends. The Reds initially wanted to bring Jude Bellingham to Anfield this summer, but after reportedly pulling out of a move, the English player has since come close to a move for Real Madrid. As a result, FSG sought alternatives, with Alexis Mac Allister at the top of their list. According to the Mirror, Liverpool are thought to be leading the race to sign the Brighton midfielder in a deal that could cost around £70 million. However, he is not the only indigenous signature that Merseysiders can make, with the same report noting their interest in Mason Mount. The Chelsea star's contract expires in 2024 and no new deals are in sight with his current club. Currently, the club that is favourite to sign the offensive midfielder for about £50 million is Liverpool. And like Mount Coutinho? Whenever a new signing enters the door for the first time, comparisons are made with old players immediately. They don't normally live up to the hype, but when it comes to Mount, who is a proven player in the Premier League and has already earned numerous honours, you can't go too far wrong. In fact, despite the price tag just mentioned, this would be an incredibly smart piece of work and would also mark a statement of intent, as Liverpool are proposing to revive their future fortunes. What better way to do this than to buy an actor with the shadows of Philippe Coutinho? The Brazilian may have already lost his peak, as he has only scored once for Aston Villa this term, but he was one of the best around during his spell at Liverpool. Indeed, the quarterback hit the net 54 times in 201 games, while also providing 45 more assists. Perhaps his best spell in England was devoted to his last 6 months before moving to Barca, with the 30-year-old star scoring 13 goals in his first 14 Premier League games of the season. Since then there has been an undisputed queue of troubles, with Liverpool still missing out on services, even if they still have the likes of Mo Salah and his friends. Noting such a fact in 2021, writer Josh Williams said, "Liverpool have lacked a player like Mount or Kevin De Bruyne since Coutinho, who could switch between midfield and attack." So, in the Chelsea star, Klopp may have a player who can break those lines again and pick up the spaces to create and score. The England national team player hasn't enjoyed his best campaign by scoring just 3 goals in 35 matches, but as Coutinho has shown, he can score goals and assist them on a regular and consistent basis. Last season alone, the 24-year-old scored 13 points and scored 16 more for his teammates while recording career-high numbers. There are other comparisons to be made between the two silky technicians who may work in central areas or outside. In the last 10 years, there have been very few people in this country who are better off in their positions. Of course, you'll always have the David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne of this world, but you still have a pretty underrated clutch player at Mount. Such a figure would be perfect for Klopp, who is looking for reliable operators to get Liverpool back on track next season. The 3 Leo stars would be a clever catch, as this comparison of Coutinho whets the appetite for what's to come. Picture him next to McAllister. What a beautiful sight it would be for the fans next season. Anfield Club were used to the turbulent screens that term mostly came from centre players, but these two players would have been incredibly well tuned in. It's clear that Liverpool need more than one midfielder next summer, and it makes sense for them to make the switch with less risky players. Jamie Carragher thinks the 24-year-old Liverpool player has been much faster lately. Jamie Carragher made an interesting observation about Trent Alexander-Arnold after another masterful show against Leicester City on Monday. The right-back looked inspiring against the Foxes on Monday. He directed the show from his new hybrid role and proved to be the icing on the cake for the defender, with a brilliant goal from a free kick. Inevitably, Carragher was blown away by Alexander-Arnold, but interestingly, speaking on Monday Night Football, he stated that he thinks the 24-year-old looks a lot faster these days. How often have I said that with Kevin De Bruyne, with his passes and free kicks? I see a player looking energetic again. He looks like he's over the moon to play midfield right now. He looks faster, he looks more energetic, and he seems to have a new lease of life, he said. Alexander-Arnold seems to be faster on the field these days, but it's not down to his speed really improving, it's his confidence. Anyone who's played football will tell you that things come a lot easier when you're confident, and that's where Alexander-Arnold is right now. He can move much more freely on the court and has an extra drive to find that tempo zone. Every aspect of Alexander-Arnold's game has improved in recent weeks, and while it may sound strange, his mindset has also helped him get faster. Jürgen Klopp has found the key to unlocking Alexander-Arnold this season, and it works perfectly.